guys, and welcome back to my channel. Lakmé recently sent over a box from their Absolute Nudes collection, which is one of their biggest launches for this year. So there are quite a few new products in this range for your lips, of course, because everybody loves lipsticks. Also eye products, there's a base product, and there are nail polishes. So I am going to take you through everything from this range. I've tested almost everything except for the eyeshadow palette, since I don't use eyeshadows much. So the whole tagline of the new range is Reinvent Nudes, because nudes have been like something that we have a very narrow understanding of. When you say a nude lipstick, it's usually sort of a beige or a pink, but it's something that closely resembles the shade of your own lips. But with this new range, Lakmé kind of wants to expand on what you think of nudes. So it is not strictly like a nude collection per se. Maybe the name of the range is a little bit misleading in that way, but this is supposed to be all different types of shades that kind of suit Indian skin tones, because I would say India as a culture, we don't wear makeup that much. Like, everybody doesn't wear makeup compared to a lot of Southeast Asian and East Asian countries. And so there are a lot of people who are just getting into makeup for the first time, and they have a lot of questions about what suits them. One of the main questions that I get on a lot of videos is, will so and so color suit my skin tone or something like that. So what Lakmé means to say is they formulated this range with Indian skin tones in mind. Everything that's in this range will complement Indian skin. Some of them are lighter nudes for daytime. There are some deeper colors that may be more for nighttime or for parties, but that is basically what they're trying to say. This is a range of colors formulated for Indian skin tones that you can wear from day to night. So there are 6 new lip colors in this range, and I have all 6, but I've worn them a bunch outside, maybe some more than others because I have my favorites already. I think they launched this Argan oil formula last year, so they've just brought out 6 new shades with the same formulation and the same packaging. So there's this nice bright gold packaging, which I know some people like and some people don't. I think it looks nice. It looks kind of luxurious. It is though quite light to hold. There is no way to tell what color the lipstick is easily from the outside. You have to look at the sticker on the bottom where the name is mentioned, or you have to open the tube. So there are 2 shades from the 6 that I would consider to be much darker shades, and then there are 4 which are lighter everyday wear kind of colors. The first shade is number 13, Juicy Plum, which is one of the darkest colors in the range. More of a deep ox blood sort of shade, and it is also really pigmented. It is one of the 2 dark colors, so both the dark colors also tend to stain your lips a little bit, which is not a big deal. But yeah, I just thought I should let you guys know. Now the next shade is Pink Tint. It's actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now also while I'm talking to you. It is one of the lighter colors. When you put like one swipe of it, you're just going to get a sheer wash of color. If your lips are pigmented, it won't cover your lips completely. It's more like a balm type of texture. The next shade is Caramel Custard. I think I lean so much towards this shade because I like caramel custard as a dessert, and I think it's one of the nice unique sort of colors from this range. Nowadays I've seen almost every lipstick come out, and I have a good collection of lipsticks, and so I'm always looking for shades that are a little bit more unique, and that's what I think Caramel Custard is. It's a nice sort of a creamy beige, great for everyday wear and great for even evening wear. Like if you're doing a heavy eye makeup, you can balance it out by putting on a nude lipstick. I like this kind of shade because I can wear it with absolutely anything in my wardrobe. This just goes with everything and it complements my skin tone. It doesn't clash. It's a very pretty color. The next shade is Soft Beige, which is actually quite close color to Caramel Custard. There is not too much of a difference between them, but if I had to choose between the 2, I would go for Caramel Custard. And I literally paused filming this video, you guys, because I wanted to switch the lipstick I was wearing from Pink Tint to Mauve It. I feel like Mauve It matches my top a lot better. To me, it's not a traditional mauve. It's actually more of slightly purpley pink, and I think it's a really pretty color. Even though this is light, this is pretty pigmented, and I got like 1 swipe pigmentation, because Pink Tint, Caramel Custard and Soft Beige are a little bit sheerer, but this one doesn't have that issue. It really depends on whether you like sheer lipsticks or pigmented lipsticks. I've always been a pigmented lipstick kind of person, because when I put something on, I want it to be like visible and bright most of the time. But I know a lot of people also like some like a sheer wash of color, so that's your choice. The final shade from the new range of lipsticks is number 20, Burnt Brown, which is just about what it sounds. It's a really deep brown color, sort of a throwback 80s 90s brown shade. I know when my mom was young, she was really into these deep chocolatey brown colors, so I tease her about it sometime. I'm not a fan of very deep browns. I would wear it once in a while, but I don't think I would wear like a dark brown on a daily basis, but I might change my mind about it later. This is really pigmented, and this is one of the colors that tends to stain your lips a little bit, but it's a nice pretty shade. It gets a thumbs up from me, like on the pigmentation side and all. The longevity of this range varies a little. Like I said, some of the lipsticks are sheerer. Those lipsticks are going to disappear from your lips a little faster, especially if you eat or drink something. They won't really last the meal. But the 3 shades that are darker, those shades are going to stay on your lips better. I don't think these lipsticks are long wearing. They don't claim to be long wearing also, so that's okay. They just claim to be hydrating, and I think they do a good job of that. If you have like dry lips and all, and matte lipsticks don't agree with you, these are much better. So whenever you choose to wear these lipsticks, these are definitely ones that you're going to have to carry with you in your purse and touch up with now and then. If you'd like more information about any of these shades or prices or anything, just open up the description bar below this video, because I'm going to list all the products there. I'm going to list quantities and prices over there, and I'm also going to put links to buy them online, because you tend to get good discounts there, so you won't have to pay full price. You'll actually save some money, and saving money is always nice. Now that we've finished talking about all the lip products, we're going to move on to the eyes. I'll take a minute to talk about the new illuminating eyeshadow palette, though I would not be reviewing or swatching this one. But yeah, they released some illuminating eyeshadow palettes last year, I think 2 different palettes. The shades in this palette are sort of really similar to both those palettes, so if you have those, you might not want to buy this. But I think they've chosen a good variety of shades here. They have a salmon pink, there are like 2 sort of dusky blush colors, there's one peachy color, one dark blue, and there's a very shimmery gold. I think these 4 pretty much look like mattes. This one here has a little bit of shimmer, and the gold of course is super shimmery. So it's just supposed to be an array of shades that can take you from day to night, and you can create a lot of different looks. But let's talk about the Lakme Absolute Kohl Ultimate. And I am wearing like the silvery grey shade on my eyes right now. They already had this Lakme Kohl Ultimate out before. They've just released new shades in it, but I had not tried it before, so this was my first time trying Kohl. Now I should warn you guys that I'm not much of a Kohl or kajal person. I prefer liquid eyeliner, or I prefer keeping my lids bare, but I still gave these a good try just so I could review it for you guys. So you get the color on one side in a pencil form, and on the other side they come with this firm rubber blender. So you're supposed to apply the kajal from one side and then turn it and smudge it with the other side. All of the shades that I have are really pigmented and creamy, but I tried applying it on my upper lid like I would do an eyeliner, and it smudged on me. Now I have really oily lids, so it could be just me. Almost everything smudges on me, and I had to search for years to find a liquid liner that would not smudge. But yeah, you cannot use this without smudging it. If you try just putting a line of it and leaving it as it is, there's a very high chance that this is going to make a mess on your lid. It'll come on top, and so that's like a little bit disappointing. I have 3 shades, which are Bronze Rust, Prussian Blue, and Silver Slate. Bronze Rust is kind of just what it suggests. It's a sort of a deep metallic bronzy coppery shade with a lot of gold flecks. It looks good for every day, but I especially like wearing this for parties and stuff when I'm accessorizing with gold jewelry. This makes a really good base, and even though there's shimmer in it, it did not irritate my eyes. I tried all of these shades even in my waterline, and it didn't irritate my eyes at all. So that's something that's nice because I have pretty sensitive eyes. So I think this is totally safe to wear if your eyes are sensitive, or even if you wear contact lenses. My experience with it was good in that aspect. The shade Prussian Blue is not a blue in the traditional sense. It's more of a teal shade, which is sort of like a blue-green, but it's quite vibrant and pretty. And Silver Slate is a metallic sort of grey that has a little bit of purple in it. It's not just a pure cool toned silver color. It's got some light purple when you look at it a certain way, and I think it's a really pretty color. I'm wearing it super smudged out on my eyes right now. The rubber smudger also works quite well with smudging the product efficiently and also not irritating or poking you. It's quite easy to use even if you're like a newbie in that aspect like me. So I think that's nice, and if you like colored kohls, you should definitely give this a try. But if you're looking to use these kohls sort of like an eyeliner and you're looking to just get that bright swipe on your upper lid, this might not be the one for you because it smudges. Now I'm going to talk about the nail polishes. So the Lakme Absolute Gel Stylist nail polish line has been around for a long time. It is Lakme's more premium line of nail polishes, and they've released 6 new shades as part of this collection, out of which I have 2, Silk Caramel and Tawny Brown. I love these so much. They're so pretty. I'm actually wearing Silk Caramel on my nails right now, and this matches the caramel custard shade really well. I mean, it should because there's caramel in the name, but yeah, they go really nicely together. And I really like the formula of this nail color because even if you put just one coat, you get a really good pigmentation. It covers your nails really well and you don't see any nail lines. But I always put 2 coats. For the sake of this review, I have not put any base or top coat, because this is also supposed to be a gel based nail polish line. It's super shiny on its own, so you really don't have to put a top coat to get it to shine. If you put on a top coat, it might stay a little bit longer, but this is a really nice range of nail polishes. I like both of the shades. The formulas are quite dreamy. They spread really nicely. They're super pigmented. They're not too thick, they're not too runny, and they're just beautiful. I have absolutely no complaints about these and I love them. I know that the pricing puts them slightly in the premium range, but I feel like they are totally worth the money. And this is one of the things from the new range that I completely love without any complaints or without whining about anything. It's just super. And now we're going to talk about the last part of this review, which is the new face products, the new base products. They have released foundations, the Lakme Absolute Skin Natural Mousse Hydrating Foundation in 6 new shades. Now when they released this, there was a little bit of a controversy because a lot of Lakme's marketing for this range said that it's a nude for every skin tone, but 6 shades still does not cover every skin tone. The shades that I have with me are number 5 and 6, so the 2 darkest ones. And if I were to categorize myself, I would say that I'm sort of in between them, but I'm more towards 6. I'm more towards the darkest shade. So it's really unfortunate that Lakme is still ignoring a very large part of the population with darker skin tones who would love to use their products. Now they have had previous releases in base products that didn't match me also. So I was happy that I found something that sort of matched me in their range, but at the same time I am a little bit disappointed that they have still continued to ignore the darker colors. In the last year, we've had a lot of new brands, especially internationally, cater to a lot more skin tones. Like Fenty Beauty has made a storm with having so many different foundation shades that matches like each and every person. And since India is a very diverse country with a very wide range of skin tones, right from like very light white to really dark brown or black, I would really hope that as South Asian companies wake up and start releasing more foundation shades, because they think darker skin girls don't want to buy makeup, but of course they do, a lot of people do, and these brands sort of disappoint us in that aspect. Okay, but colorism aside, let's talk about the actual packaging and formula and what all I thought of this. So one of the weird things Lakme has done with this range, and I think they did it last year also with their Argan foundation, this is a really small container of foundation. Most foundations from all brands, whether it's a budget brand or a luxury brand, it's sort of an unwritten rule that if it's a liquid foundation, it'll be 30 ml of product. So sometimes some bottles will be looking small, sometimes bottles look big, but check out foundations if you have them at home, or check out foundations on any beauty website. You'll find most of them are 30 ml, but Lakme has gone and made these 15 ml. So it's sort of half the quantity you would be used to getting when you're buying a foundation. It's a little bit sneaky. So make of that what you may. And when you see the price of this foundation, I would say it's fine. It's sort of affordable. Know that you're getting half the size that you would normally get. So that's really important to take into account. I like the containers. They're not fancy, but they are good and effective. There is no way to tell the shade from the outside, just like the lipsticks. But it's super nice and light, sort of plastic. And inside you get the pump packaging, which is efficient. This is good to carry in your makeup bag or in your purse on a daily basis. I don't like glass bottles because they are heavy and prone to breaking. The formula is pretty nice, and I would say you probably won't need to reapply this during the day. I'm currently wearing number 6 on my face right now. When you first put on these foundations, they look really pale, but as it sort of sets on your face a little bit, it looks more natural, but it still is a little bit pale and it still doesn't match me perfectly. I feel that there is an undertone mismatch. They've made the foundations a little bit too warm toned and my undertone is a little bit neutral, so it looks ashy on its own, like on the bottom part of my face especially, which is darker, like the chin area and the jawline. It looks better once I set it with powder, because I set anything on my face with powder, and I'm using like a Lakme product only. They are 9 to 5 primer plus matte powder foundation. So once I put on powder on my face, it looks better. I wish it had matched me well on its own. It doesn't match me very well. The formula is a mousse foundation, as the name states. I have not used any mousse foundations before this, so I don't really have any good basis for comparison, but I liked it. I think it wears very well throughout the day. I think that once it sets on your face also, it's very skin-like. It's not like it does not have its flaws, but I feel like it'll be really good for oily skinned people. I do not know why they say it's hydrating. I did not really find it hydrating. I think that if you have dryness or dry patches on your skin, this foundation will probably cling to those patches. So I think this is better for oily skinned people. If you have normal to dry skin, just make sure you moisturize really well before putting this on. I also blended it with a brush because I'm used to blending with a brush. But this works best if you blend it with your fingers. So I always finish the blending with my fingers. It needs that heat, I think, of your fingers to get spread nicely on your face. And when I use a brush, I find that the brush leaves these streaky marks. But when I just finish it off with my fingers, it sets to a very nice finish. It wears well throughout the day for me. And I feel like I will be reaching for this foundation a lot in the summer. You can see that I have quite a few acne scars on my skin from before I put the foundation on. So that will give you a good idea of the coverage of this foundation. It's definitely a medium, it's not more than a medium. It sort of evened out the lighter scars and you can't see them very much. If you have like a little bit of uneven skin tone, it'll cover that up. But if you have any bad blemishes or dark circles or anything, it's not going to cover that up. That is visible even with the foundation on, and you're going to need to use a concealer to cover that up properly. I don't mind that too much because I prefer medium coverages in foundation, and if I want to conceal every single spot, I would rather just use a concealer. Most of the time I don't care too much if a little bit of my spots show through, but if you want a heavy coverage foundation, this is not it. If you want something that will just even out your skin tone and that will look good throughout your day, even if you live in a hot and humid place, even if your skin is oily, I think this will do a good job. You might need to powder up a couple of times during a long day, but you won't need to reapply the foundation. So that was it for my entire review of this Lakme Absolute Reinvent Nudes range. I hope this is useful for you guys, and if you have any questions that you think I can answer, leave a comment down below. If you have any doubts about product quantities or prices or shade names, just click the description bar below this video, click show more, and I've filled it out with a lot of information that will help you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel for more beauty, fashion, lifestyle and travel videos. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!